All right, you guys, I'm going to go ahead and show you how to edit your image and delete the background using the quick selection tool in Photoshop. But first, I'm going to go ahead and download my image from Google Drive. I'm going to show you how to do that. I'm going to use this picture of this cat and I'm going to right click on it and then go here to this part where it says download. If that doesn't work, then what I can do is double click on the picture like this, and then the download arrow is up here to the top right. You want to click on that, and then it's going to load. And now I'm going to open up Photoshop. And I'm going to show you how I open the picture, but I'm going to go here to either the word file and then open, or I'm going to go down here to the left-hand side where it says open, where it says create new or open. I'm going to select open. And then you can see here my picture is downloaded. And when I click open, there it is. So now I'm going to go ahead and select the quick selection tool, which is my fourth tool on the left-hand side. So the top one is the move tool. Second one is the marquee tool. Third one is the lasso tool. And then this one is the quick selection tool. But most of the time you're going to have to click and hold it and change it down to this second option, because it usually starts out as the object selection tool, which we don't want to use. You don't want to use that one or the magic wand tool. They're going to do something that you don't necessarily want, and it's going to be difficult to use. So make sure you're using the quick selection tool. I like to start out in the positive, just like if you're using photop.com, I like to click on the positive. This is going to tell the computer that I am trying to make the selection. This is something I want. It's a positive. If I wanted to switch to the negative, that's telling the computer I don't want this part. The positive means I want it. The negative means I don't. Okay. And then you could also change your size of your brush right here by selecting this little drop down menu by the circle and then adjusting the size here. And you can see it will adjust the size of the circle. I personally think that that's too many steps there. So I like to change the size of the brush by using my keyboard shortcuts, which would be the brackets next to the letter P as in pirate on your keyboard. So if you look over here, the one on the left that is closest to the letter P makes it smaller, and the one on the right makes it larger, like so. And the hardness level of the brush should be all the way up to 100%. So it should not be a soft brush at all when you're doing your quick selection. You want a nice crisp edge. And so what I'm going to do is stay on the inside of the cat. And you want to use the edge of the brush. So the edge of the circle should go against the edge of the ear of the cat. You should not go outside of the cat at all. You're telling the computer, this is the part that I do want to select. And you're going to just click and drag. And you can see now I have my marching ants. And again, I'm staying on the inside of the cat. And the marching ants are kind of smart most of the time. It is rare when you have to really correct them a lot and force them to do what you want. Usually they kind of get it. So if I hold Option on my keyboard, you'll notice that little positive in the middle of the circle will turn to a negative. And that's because I just switched, if you look up here on the top, it just switched me from the positive to the negative. That's me holding Alt or Option on my keyboard. And then I can go ahead and click outside of the cat. Again, notice I'm using the edge of my brush to make sure that it is a crisp, clean line all the way around here. And I could zoom in, I should zoom in so that I'm making a really straight line here, and so that it doesn't look super jagged and raggedy when I try to delete the background. And you want to go all the way around your subject so that you're for sure getting a straight line. You don't want it to be like raggedy. So I'm just going to take a moment to do that. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to zoom out. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and after I have my selection as best as I possibly can, I'm going to go right here to where it says select and mask. So when I click into select and mask, it's going to show you how good of a selection you made or how poorly of a selection you made. And hopefully you have this option right here to do something like refine the hair. If your subject has hair like human hair or cat hair, sometimes it is helpful, sometimes it is not. So if you click on it and it kind of makes your image a little bit worse, then go ahead and press Command Z to go back a step. But you can see here, it actually added the whiskers that I had cut off. So I'm going to leave it like that. And it's okay that it's kind of cutting off the top of this little cat's ears, like the hair that was sticking up, because I don't necessarily need it. My cat doesn't have hair like that, so I'm just going to cut it off. Now over here to where it has the smooth, I'm going to put 2. And on the contrast, I'm going to put 5. And then I can go ahead and press OK. Now, if I were to go back up to select and mask, those numbers wouldn't be there. You only need to do that once. If you do it multiple times, it's going to mess things up. So only do it one time. And then you want to unlock your layer. If you don't unlock your layer and you press backspace, it's going to replace with like the background, or it's going to put a million pictures of the cat all the way around. So make sure you unlock your layer and then come up here to the word select and change the word select to inverse. And now you can see that like the marching ants are all around the border and the edge of the cat. That means it's selecting the background now. So now I can go ahead and press delete or backspace. And now I've made my selection and I'm all done. I can go to select, deselect if I really want to, just so I can really examine my work and see if I did a good job. And I think that this looks pretty good. So now I can go to File, Save As. And you want to choose this option right here to save on your computer. And then it should already have a name because you should have already named all of your images when you downloaded them. If it doesn't, you can title it here. You can change the name of it here, but you do want to see the .psd. If you don't see that, then it's probably not saved properly and you'll need to change the format. Sometimes it tries to have your format as like a PNG or a JPEG, which is just really not what we want. You want to make sure it says this one right here where it says Photoshop. That is a Photoshop document. That's why it's called PSD. So make sure it says Photoshop right here and then press save and then press OK. Immediately, you need to go to your Google Drive. So I'm going to show you that. Go to your Google Drive, and then you need to put it into a folder. I like to put my PSDs all in a different folder. So like you see here, it says PSDs. It's still in my visual imagery folder and in my me folder, but I made a separate folder right here for PSDs. And so this is where all of my finished product PSDs are going. So I'm going to go to New, File, Upload, and then select my kitty PSD and click Open. And it's going to take a second to load, but once it's green right here, a green check mark, that means it's good to go. It's in there. And I don't need to do anything further. And you can see it here. When you click on it like this, you are going to see it look like it has a white background, but that's okay. You can see I have the same thing here. It looks like a white background. And here it looks like a white background. But that's what you want to see, because when I download it and open it into Photoshop, it's going to look like it has checker marks on the background. And that's really it.